Hello and welcome to today's live Q&A. I'm Katie Keith, founder and CEO at Barn2 Plugins.
And I'm Sam Waynes, and I do all of the video and other marketing tasks here with Barn2. And we have another pre-sales live Q&A for you guys today. These are really a lot of fun, a lot of chances for us to interact with you guys. So if you're watching live, please leave your comments, say hello, and also leave your questions. We can get to them a little bit later on, but we also like to cover some questions that we've received throughout the last few weeks as well. So first of all, Katie has some company news.
Yep, so just some quick updates on plugins and other changes. So WooCommerce product options, if you watch these live streams regularly, then you will know that every month for quite a few months now, people have been asking for a particular feature, which is live previews. So we'll demo product options in a minute and show you what the plugin is, but basically when a user uploads, say, an image of their logo to a product page, they want a way to display it as a preview on the product image. So imagine you're selling a t-shirt and you upload a logo to be printed on that t-shirt. So every single live stream for ages, people have been asking for a way to display that, and we were like, yeah, we are planning to do that at some point, but it's really complicated and we don't know when. So I have some good news that we have found a simpler way to do it. We've done some investigation and we are going to be adding it to WooCommerce product options soon. Or more specifically, we're going to be releasing it as an optional add-on that you can use with WooCommerce product options. So that will be on its way, hopefully in the next couple of months, or even sooner. So it's along with the version 2.0, which we've also mentioned on these live streams before, which will have lots of other new features as well. So that's a big thing coming soon. We've just, I think 2 days ago, released version 1.14 of our popular Document Library Pro plugin, which has improved document previews, a new column where you can display the file name, and things like that. And we're going to be releasing another major version pretty soon as well, probably in about July, which will allow you to set an expiry date on your documents and also upload multiple files for each document. For example, if you have different file types and you want a download button for each one. We're also doing lots of new things for WooCommerce product table. The new user-friendly table builder is in the final stages and should be launched in June. And also probably in June, maybe July, we'll be adding a new total column to the table where you can see the price with your selected quantities and variations, and also a new total that will go at the top of the table. So when you tick multiple products that you want to buy all at once, it will show you the total price, which people have been asking for.
It's funny, it's funny, I've never thought of that feature before, even though I've used the plugin dozens of times, but it makes so much sense when you say it out loud.
Many people have thought of it. It's high on the feature request list. And the other product news is that we have launched admin demos for WooCommerce bulk variations and WooCommerce protected categories. So that means that you can spin up your own instant test site and have a play with the actual settings of the plugin for free before you buy it and install it on your own site. We already had admin demos for probably 5 of our plugins, so we've added 2 more this month. In team news, last month we reported that we were hiring a quality assurance person to help to test and drive up quality in our plugins. And as of yesterday, we have found someone who might be watching today, actually. So Aleem will be joining us in the beginning of July, and we'll be looking forward to welcoming him to the team.
Awesome.
And the final news is WordCamp Europe. Sam and I and several other Barn2 team members will be at the WordCamp Europe conference in June in Torino, Italy. And we're not sponsoring this time, but I will be doing a talk if you want to come and watch it, if you're coming, which will be called "We Spoke with Over 50 Different WordPress Product Owners. Here's What We Learned." So if you're coming, then come and check out the talk. And if you're coming and just want to meet with us generally, then you're welcome to reach out via our support centre, and we can meet up over coffee or something like that. In fact, a customer did that yesterday, and Sam and I have arranged to meet them while we're there. So we're happy to meet in person if you're going.
Yeah, awesome. I always love the WordCamp experience, and it's going to be in Italy this year, so I'm even more excited. Going to be taking a little bit of time off after the conference to go enjoy some Italian food throughout the boot, as they say, of Europe. I think it's important that we acknowledge just how many people are saying hello. We have uh, Gerardo, who is that right? Gerardo coming, who's
I think so.
here
Oh,
from
he's
Mexico,
corrected himself.
corrected
Yeah.
himself. Yes, Mexico, and Donna from Florida.
Yeah,
We have
lots of Donna.
Tobias from Spain, and Tim from Jersey. Wow! Oh my goodness, have you been to Jersey? I think it's in.
No,
No, okay, it's part of the
no,
UK,
I've never
right?
been. Yeah. Oh, I think so.
Okay,
I think there's some complexity. I think
that's a
so.
trivia question for you.
I know. Yeah.
Um,
Tim can tell us if Jersey is in fact part of the UK.
yeah, and to I'm sorry if I can't quite get your name right. Inati. We will be addressing WooCommerce restaurant ordering plugin a little bit later on in the show, not too far down the track. So just stay tuned for that, and we'll answer your question then. How about that?
Yeah. We've got Kimberly, who we had last month, who's usually from Australia but currently in the US, which means this is a much friendlier time for Kimberly this month.
Mhm.
So that's
Mhm.
good.
All right, let's.
Should we do Courtney's?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah. Any brand new plugins on the horizon? No, and intentionally not, because we've got 19 premium plugins now and some free ones. We did have 24 a few months ago, and we sold off some of them because it was too many. And what we're doing now is focusing on pushing as many new features that customers are asking for into our existing plugins. So we're intentionally not building new plugins for the time being. Not saying never, but maybe the next year or something like that. We want to just make our plugins as good as they can be.
Would you call that a positive no, Katie?
Oh, you've been reading my tweets.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just bought our support team a book called The Power of the Positive No, which is I think is really good. And yeah, you can say yes to everything, but without agreeing to it. So maybe that was a good example.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got Will from the Netherlands and Carolyn from Ontario, born in Middlesbrough, so she's British.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Wow. So many people. Thanks for joining us all. We'll get into the questions now.
So we've got WooCommerce product options first. So I will share my screen and show you that plugin, and then we'll cover the questions that we've had about WooCommerce product options. So present. So this is WooCommerce product options, one of our most popular plugins at the moment. And what it does is add extra options to your products, which are more user-friendly and visually appealing than the variations that you get with WooCommerce on its own. For example, on this product, we've got some radio buttons. So basically this section, the crust style and the toppings are added by our plugin. So you can add radio buttons, you can add a price to them optionally, and you can select checkboxes and things as well, like toppings. And I'll just go to some more products. This necklace one has different types of fields. Here we've just got a simple checkbox, but the plugin has conditional logic built in, so that when I tick this checkbox, I've set it up so that it has all these other options. And as you can see, they're much prettier than variation drop downs that you get with WooCommerce. So you can click on images and so on. You can set minimum and maximum quantities. So with this one, we've set the maximum to 1 because you can only gift wrap with 1 type of wrapping paper, of course. So you've got flexibility there. You can choose a ribbon color. You can add a message to the text field, and there's lots and lots of options like that. So that is the plugin. And let's go to the questions about it. So we're on product options. So Gerardo, who's we said hello to a minute ago, has asked whether it works for rental applications.
So this can be viewed on the same demo site that Katie was just on, the public demo. So if you go to our website and you find the plugin, and then you find the demo from there. So this is the bike rental. So you can see here we have the radio buttons like Katie just discussed. So if we choose a bike size and then we choose a rental period in terms of a time, and you can see that the price has updated based on the fee for that option. Let me make sure that it's just that one I've chosen. And then we choose a date and time. So the date can be chosen like this. And you just have these arrows, or you can modify the number here. So for example, 1 p.m. on May 30th, total $100. And then the customer can add that to their cart. Now, the only thing you have to be aware of is that you need a system of replying to the customer after they've made the order to confirm it, or to ask them any questions, follow-up questions, or anything like that. Just because the way that this plugin works, it will not necessarily know how many bikes you have, because our plugin doesn't account for how many bikes you have in your store. You'll have to keep track of that yourself. Okay. And but otherwise, it does work in this application with the date picker.
Sorry.
And I just finished a video all about how to apply that date picker. So that'll be coming out on YouTube on Monday, I believe.
Excellent. So the next question, we've got a couple coming in as well for product options, so we'll come to those in a moment. I haven't put a link to the tutorial on the rental side of things, so that's a link on the screen to the page with full instructions on how to set up that rental product. The next question is if it's possible to translate the options in WooCommerce product options using WPML. And Geordie is thinking of using it together with WooCommerce restaurant ordering. I'll answer that in two parts. With the WPML, that is, for anybody who doesn't know, a very major translation plugin for WordPress. And we just discovered about a week ago that it doesn't work with product options, which we weren't aware of. We generally recommend using either Weglot or TranslatePress because they work with absolutely every plugin with no special integration needed, and there's never any problems. But if you're already using WPML, then of course you should continue to do so. And we are adding that compatibility to WooCommerce product options right now. So the plan was to release version 2.0 that I mentioned earlier, which will have loads of new features, including the WPML compatibility. But if this is urgent for you now, then you can contact us via our support center, and we can send you a sort of temporary version of WooCommerce product options with the WPML support now, so that even though that won't be officially released for another few weeks, you can get that integration straight away. And the other half of Geordie's question was, does it work with WooCommerce restaurant ordering? So I'm going to show you a demo of the two plugins working together so that you can see how that works. Here we go. So this is a food order form created using our WooCommerce restaurant ordering plugin. And as you can see, it's a kind of Uber Eats style order form. These are all WooCommerce products, and it's creating a more kind of customer friendly way of ordering food online. And normally it just works with normal WooCommerce products and variable products. But if you use it with WooCommerce product options, then you can add extra options to your products. So when you use the two plugins together, when you click on a product, you can display the options. So this is basically the same product I showed you earlier on the product page, but this time we're using it with WooCommerce restaurant ordering. So we've got the one-page order form layout, and we've got a light box for choosing the pizza toppings. And there's all sorts of options, as we saw earlier, that you can use to, and it's just a nicer way of displaying options than using variations. There's all sorts of different ones here. So yes, that does work together. Now let's go to some of the new questions that have come in about WooCommerce product options. Right, so Will's question is, my question would be the following: can we ask for text and place that on the image shown? The answer is not yet, but that will come fairly soon. So in version 2.0, we're going to release that with an optional add-on, which will be image previews, where the user can upload an image which will appear on the product image, like the logo on the t-shirt that we talked about at the beginning. And if you want text, then if you wait another, hopefully, couple of months, then we will add that as well. So this preview add-on that we're going to release will initially be images, and we will keep adding more and more functionality to it, including text. So a good use case for that, for example, would be if you're doing custom engravings or something like that. The user's not going to, they might upload an image to be engraved, but they might just want to say their wife's name or something for an anniversary bracelet or whatever. And that would just be like, maybe choose your font and then type the text, and that would be superimposed on the bracelet. So that is coming, but not in the next version.
I want to bring your attention, Katie, to this question from Gerardo. And he's thinking about the rental feature, but he wants to know if there's a way to have the customer select, say, for example, 4 days or 8 days, and then have those days blocked out. So that sounds like a feature request per se.
Yeah,
possibly.
I'd say for now, all you can do in WooCommerce product options with the date field is block out entire dates, like we're closed on Christmas Day, so we're going to block out that whole date. And you can select how far in the future they can book and stuff like that. But you cannot do any kind of availability on it. So in terms of if somebody's already bought this, then it will block it. And for that, I would recommend using the WooCommerce bookings plugin from WooCommerce.com, or I think Yip have a good bookings plugin on yithemes.com as well. So I'd recommend using one of those if you do need that built-in availability for your time slots. Are there any more product option ones? I don't think there are for now. So let's move on to restaurant ordering, because we've kind of already touched on that in the context of product options.
Yeah, do you want me to show that demo still, or do you think we kind of did that already?
Yeah, we kind of did it, didn't we? So let's just answer the question. So somebody's asked out that it's not fully accessible, and asked when it will be accessible in terms of alt text and all the tools needed for people with disabilities. So we looked at that query, and we've had support tickets from this person and one of their colleagues over the last couple of years, and we're already working on fixing this in the plugin. So a release will be made either later today or tomorrow, which will fix the accessibility issues that they've reported. And more widely, as an update, we're in the middle of a project to do thorough accessibility testing on all of our plugins to ensure that we catch things like this before customers report them, because obviously we should be making our plugins fully accessible without you having to tell us. I get that. And we hadn't got to WooCommerce restaurant ordering yet, so we will still be doing a major accessibility audit of it at that time, which will make it even more accessible. But the issues that they've reported will be fixed within the next day. So Document Library Pro next.
Sorry, Katie, before you open that up, let's just do this one little follow-up. Do we have a release date for the coming updates in product options?
No, particularly not for text, because that's the subsequent stage of the project. So within the next couple of weeks, we will be in the final stages of testing the image preview functionality, So if they uploaded an image of their text, you would be able to display that on the engravable product. And then once that is out, we will do the firm project planning for the subsequent phase, which would include the text. So I'm afraid I can't be specific now. And if I was, I would be wrong anyway, and it would change because that's how software projects work, unfortunately. But that's useful about early release testing. So if you want to contact us via support center and offer to be a beta tester or something like that, when that is ready, then we'd be happy to send you an early copy in return for your feedback.
All right. Document Library Pro.
Document Library. All right, I will share that one now. So Document Library Pro, as the name says, it lets you create a document library on your WordPress site. So each row of this table is a document, and you can display that on your website either publicly or privately, and allow users to find documents easily, view them and download them, or they can open a preview. And we've just opened, oh, this is a new feature we just added 2 days ago, actually, a PowerPoint preview. That was accidental to show you that. But previously, the previews only worked with PDFs, for example, and images and some specific file types. And now it works for some other file types too, like Microsoft Office documents and things. And it comes with this table layout, and it comes with a folder view, which has collapsible folders that people quite like for structuring documents. And it also comes with a more visual grid layout like this. So that's Document Library Pro. So the first question about that was how you migrate from other document library plugins. And there's one called Memphis Docs that this customer has asked about.
Yeah, sure. I'm just sharing my screen. So we have an entire knowledge base article about this, which we will link to here. And later on, you can check in the YouTube upload for that link, which I'll be adding after the broadcast. But basically, this article describes how you can export your data using some kind of export plugin. I'm just going to show you one here. So this is the WPML import. And this plugin allows you to export, well, basically anything, I guess. And you can export to CSV, XML, or Excel as well. And we'll just go back to our document here. And then once you've exported it, then you can use the Document Library Pro's bulk import options to import that data. So you can drag and drop the files, or you can use our CSV upload. And you'll just have to check this sample CSV file to see the formatting for all of the different post types, if I've got the word right. Basically, the data may not match up precisely from one to the other, from one plugin to ours. So you'll have to align it, I guess, in the CSV file before you upload it, and make sure all of the data matches when you migrate it in. So you could follow the instructions here, and yeah, so it's pretty straightforward from that point of view.
Okay, excellent. So there was more questions on Document Library Pro. Amy wanted to know about search box options. There's a few different search options in Document Library Pro, so I will show you all of them. And I have actually looked up Amy's support ticket that we've got internally as well, so I know more specifically what they wanted. But for everybody else, I'll do a general answer as well. So Document Library Pro has a search box which you can optionally show above each table or grid of documents. So if I wanted to type policy, for example, then it would narrow down the list by policy. There's also a search on click feature, which you can use to click on categories or tags or any type of custom taxonomy within the table or grid. So here I'm going to click on presentations, and that's narrowed it down, as you can see, by everything that has the phrase presentations. But Amy mentioned that they wanted to change that behavior so that instead of filtering the table, it would take them to a page with documents instead, like a search results type page, basically. So I'm going to show you how to do that now by editing this page. Now, in the back end, this page looks a bit of a mess because we've got 4 document libraries on a page. You wouldn't normally have that, so don't worry. And we've also added tons of shortcode options because we're us and know the plugin, but there are more visual ways you can do these things, and yours wouldn't be this complicated. So what I'm going to do is type search underscore on underscore click underscore equals false with or without. Oh, I put an extra underscore. Search on click with underscores in between equals false. And then I'm going to update the page and show you what happens. So we've got our page back, and now I'm going to click on presentations again. And whereas it filtered the document library before, now it's taken me to a search results page. And the layout of this comes from your theme. It's however your search results are displayed in your theme. And that's got all the presentation documents there. So that's how you do that. In addition to that, there is a standalone search page which you can use here. So like, for example, you might want to add a document search to your home page or to your sidebar. And we've got examples of both on this page. So you can have a search box that's not above a document library if you want to do that. And finally, there is another option called search term, where you can basically create a document library that is pre-filtered to show a particular search term. So on this page that I just opened, I had used the shortcode with the search term option to automatically search for any documents with the word policy in. And I'll show you what that looks like in the back end. So here's a simpler shortcode. Like I said, you don't have to do messy ones like I did on the other page. It's just doc underscore library, search underscore term equals policy. And of course, that instead of policy, you could have whatever you wanted to search by. So that's a way to kind of pre-filter the document library if you need to do that. So there's quite a lot of different search options. And there's also several search plugins that integrate with Document Library Pro if you want even more advanced search type options, like the ability to search the contents of the PDFs that you're linking to, or something a bit more advanced like that. So let's move on to the next question, which is from Tim.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tim is interested in document management and analytics capabilities. So I'll just share. We also have a lot of information about this on our knowledge base, thankfully. So rather than just hearing me explain it once and then forgetting the answer, we have this documented for you. So on this page here, there are a lot of details about how to manage, well, your document library in the back end. So you can read through this in your own time, but basically to summarize the answer to Tim's question, there is a built-in total downloads counter for each document, which you can display in the front and or the back end. And this article that I'm going to share now, we have another knowledge base article called track downloads, and this explains how to track the number of document downloads specifically. So you can follow one of the methods listed here, and you'll be able to get those analytics. But in terms of more specific analytics, you can look into other download monitors, or you can use Conversion Bridge or any other analytics platform that has more advanced analytics. Katie, do you want to comment on anything about that?
Not particularly, no. Just for people to understand, we've got the basic download counter, and then that article tells you at least 3 methods for adding more advanced document analytics.
Yeah, so this is an example of using Google Analytics here, and that will allow you to see those in much more detail. And you can see that on the analytics dashboard. It'll come under File Download, and then you can see what that's, well, basically see the details there. I don't quite know how to finish my sentences sometimes.
And we had another question about Document Library Pro from Tim. What file properties do you hold, i.e. author, word count, view, versions, etc.? Are you able to share a link with the fields? Oh, I'll just create a quick caption for that and then show that on the screen. So the link you want is this, and which I haven't showed you yet. There it is. And I'm going to share my screen to show you what that looks like so you can actually see the content of it. So the fields available in Document Library Pro, which we store and allow you to display about the documents if you want to, differ depending on whether you're using the table layout or the grid layout. So the table has the document ID, which is basically the WordPress database ID of the document, the title, content, excerpt, image, date, the modified date, the document author, the document categories, tags, the download count we just talked about, file size, file type, the new file name column that we added 2 days ago, the status of the document, which might be published, draft, whatever, and you can choose which statuses to display, of course, and a link to the downloadable file. And in addition to that, if you add custom fields or taxonomies to your document library, and we have a free plugin that will allow you to do that called Easy Post Types and Fields, then you can display that as additional columns and store the data. So it doesn't, and the grid has a bit less than that because the grid layout doesn't have so much space as the table. We've had to prioritize what columns can be displayed in the grid. So that article in the knowledge base tells you all of that. But it doesn't have, let's go back to the question. Here it is. It doesn't hold the word count because that's kind of within the document which is linked to. You could create a custom field called word counts and manually enter the word count of the document and then display that as a column in the table if you wanted to do. And versions, it has version control behind the scenes, so it does store versions. That's an optional feature on the settings page where you can choose whether to just, when you upload a new document, it overwrites the previous version, or whether you want to store your version history and so that you can roll back and see when your document was updated and things like that. That's all in the back end, and you don't display the versions on your website unless you choose to do so in a custom field or something, but it's all there in the back end. So I think that's it for Document Library Pro. And the next plugin that we've got questions about is Post Table Pro. So I will show you that now. Post Table Pro kind of looks like Document Library Pro, and that's not a coincidence. Before Document Library Pro existed, we had Post Table Pro, which allows you to display any type of content from a WordPress website in a searchable table. So that's why it looks the same. So basically, the most popular use case for Document Library for Post Table Pro was to display documents. And so we ended up creating the dedicated Document Library plugin, which, as you've seen, has additional features for documents like the document count and the download buttons and the previews and the version control and stuff that's specific to documents. But Post Table Pro is still around and is more flexible in that you can display any type of WordPress post, which might be pages, posts, or a custom post type like events or e-commerce products or members or whatever you can think of. You can display it basically in Post Table Pro. But I won't show you any more detail because it's kind of like Document Library. So questions about Post Table Pro. Tobias has asked, can I change the link on the title column of Post Table Pro to be forwarded to the WordPress post edit page instead of the post single front end view? So on my link here, this one, I'm going to click on this one that says blog post. When I click on the title, it's going to open the single post page in the front end. And that's intentional because the majority of people who use Post Table Pro are public visitors to the website and are therefore wanting to see it in the front end. They probably don't even have access to the edit page in the admin. But what Tobias is asking is whether instead of that, you can show a link to the edit page. So let's say you've got a hidden page that only administrators can view, and you like that better for whatever reason than the list of posts in the WordPress admin. You can list all your posts in Post Table Pro, and you want the title to link to the edit screen for the post, not the front end. Now, that is not a feature of the plugin, but I've spoken to one of our developers today as a result of Tobias's question, and we've actually just published a knowledge base article which contains a code snippet on how to do that. So if you go to this page, which we will also add to the YouTube video description afterwards, then that has a code snippet that you can add to your site, which will allow you to link that title column in Post Table Pro to the edit page instead. So thank you for that question. And now hopefully other people will benefit from that in the future, because we hadn't figured out how to do that, and it is possible.
Okay, yeah. And Tobias has already
Tobias
replied.
says, but oh yes, my users are all authors. That's the reason. So yeah, authors can edit content. So if they're logged in, then they'll then be able to edit it. So, and authors often don't have full admin access. So maybe that is a better way for them to navigate to their posts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
so let's move on.
Yeah, just so you know, guys, if you forget the link, if we just flash it on screen too quickly for you to type it in, you can just filter by the plugin in our knowledge base, and then you can use a search feature on our website, or you can just go through the list of options until you found what you're looking for based on the plugin.
Yeah, and we always go through after and make sure that all the links are added to the YouTube description as well, don't we? Because there's always lots of links that we add.
Okay, are we ready for the next plugin?
Yep.
Okay, Wholesale Pro, very good. That's the one.
I think, yeah.
Yes. So WooCommerce Wholesale Pro, I'm just going to briefly show you. This is the screen on our website, but actually I want to show you straight away what it looks like on the shop. So this is my demo site that I used for video creation. And you'll see if you look closely at all of the prices on this page, there's a grayed and crossed out original price, and the updated price shows instead, because in this current configuration, I've got it set up to have a discount. So let me show you that discount on the back end. So Wholesale Pro allows you to create these wholesale tiers or roles in WooCommerce, and or more specifically in WordPress. And so I can set up a global percentage discount for my entire store based on the role that my user has. So in tier 2, they would get a 20% discount, or tier 3, 30%, and so on. And you can add more, or you can be specific and you can enable this discount only on certain categories or individual products. So you really have a lot of control over how you're going to provide discounts for your wholesale customers. And of course, there are plenty of options, including what kinds of emails you send to them, registration fields, as well as management of the users themselves. So yeah, it's quite a comprehensive wholesale plugin.
Yeah. And we've had a question from Donna about WooCommerce Wholesale Pro, which is there any way to use the Wholesale Pro plugin to allow control over a single product for a retail and wholesale control over that specific product? So the background to this is that WooCommerce Wholesale Pro has category level control at the moment, where you can, for each product category on your store, you can set it to be visible to all your customers, wholesale customers only, or retail public customers only. And you do that at the category level. And Donna is asking, can this be done for a specific product? And currently it can't, but we are actively working on this feature and we'll add it to the next version, which may well be released in the next, it will either be released in the next few days or in July because of the developer going on leave. So, but it's definitely coming soon. And I agree that that's a useful feature. So for now, you have to do it at the category level. And in the very next release of Wholesale Pro, you can do it on the product level as well. So the way that will work is that on the edit product screen on the right, you've currently got a section with a publish section where you can choose your publish date and choose whether there's some visibility settings in WooCommerce itself, like shop and search and hidden and things. That's part of WooCommerce. Yeah, you can go to that on the right, Sam. So currently you've got catalog visibility, which is nothing to do with our plugin. That's just WooCommerce. So we're going to add a wholesale visibility underneath that. It might not be called that, but that's the meaning of it. And you'll be able to again choose visible to everyone, wholesale only, or public only. So that will be there. And that will, of course, override the behavior on the category to avoid any conflicts. For example, if you've set a category to be available to everybody, then you can override it for one product and make that wholesale only.
Well, okay. And then as soon as we release that feature, WooCommerce is going to update the product edit screen and make it non-functional. No, I'm just kidding.
They are. Have you seen the new product editor? They're going to change everything. So
Yes.
yeah, we've got some work to do there. But we're
all
kind
my
of waiting.
videos.
Yeah, I know. And all our screenshots on our website, and it looks radically different from the current one. But it's important, it will be better. Yeah, we're kind of waiting till it's more stable because it's in beta at the moment and a bit buggy. So we'll wait till it's very nearly alpha and released, and then we will do it.
Curious
So we've got a question. Sorry.
I was just curious if any of our viewers have tried the WooCommerce mobile app, because it's something I've ignored quite a lot, but it could be quite useful, and they have different features there. And you can also preview the new edit screen in that mobile app as well.
Yeah, I've never used that. So Donna says, fantastic. That would be a great addition to the Wholesale Pro plugin. So that's good. I'm glad she wants something that we're actually doing very, very soon. And she has another question. Sam, you can do this one. Can you please show in Wholesale Pro how the variant prices work for wholesale and retail? So you're already on the edit product screen, aren't you? If you go to the variations section.
Yeah, of course. Let me just
we may need to edit something on the settings page, but let's have a look at it first, and I'll tell you if there's a setting that needs changing.
Variations.
Have you got? Oh, you've got variations. Good.
Yeah, and then open a variation, and then scroll down. And
yeah, because there's actually a global setting that will hide all this stuff because it clutters up the page a bit. But fortunately, you've ticked that box.
Yeah, so we have the regular price, the wholesale regular price, and then the different tiers that I've created, as well as sale price tiers if your product is specifically on sale and still gets a wholesale discount. Now, the only thing I was curious about is, do we have bulk actions for those?
I don't know. That's a good point.
Because if I was updating the price for my variations, that would be something I'd be interested in. Set sale prices.
That might be a feature request. Yeah.
Okay. Something I was thinking about because I was doing videos about this not too long ago.
Yeah. Well, click on it, see if it's there. I don't know.
I didn't see. I see set sale price, set regular price.
Okay. We can't see your drop down. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. I get it. Yeah. That's why. It's it's just a matter of how the screen sharing works. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's a good point. We should make that available for bulk actions. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's everything on Wholesale Pro. We've got sort of a related question from Donna, which is, I'm using the following Barn2 plugins: multiple email recipients, product table, and Wholesale Pro. They are fantastic. Good. My question is, do you have a plugin that can handle inventory for product variants? So total inventory for a product is 100, and there's 5 variants: quantity 10, quantity 50. I'm getting lost, to pass the hundreds to the variants to reduce the inventory.
Okay,
Is
I
this
think I
about
understand.
sharing stock?
I
Okay, you
think
go.
I understand. So if there are 100 t-shirts, 50 of them are small, 50 of them are medium. How do you know which one is which and track stock for them? Is that the question
I
as
think
I'm
probably,
reading?
is that not built into WooCommerce?
Yeah, I think it should be because it's a matter of tracking stock. So you have this. If I'm just going to share one more time.
But then if
Um,
you've got variants, do you have to track the stock per variant? We should have a
yeah,
look.
so in this variant, I can manage stock, and then I can scroll down and choose the stock quantity for that variant, and I can
But
actually
how do
say
you
like there are
share that
5.
across the product if you wanted to?
Um,
Maybe she doesn't need to do that.
yeah, I mean, let's see if first of all I have in the drop down, which you can't see.
Nope, we
You
can't.
can set this. You can set this stock like you can. First, you can toggle manage stock, so you can manage stock for all of them, and then you could theoretically set us a baseline stock level, and maybe you have to go in and edit a few of them based on what you actually have. But say you ordered 20 from your supplier, so you could set 20, 20, 20 for all of them. I'm guessing that's the the basic answer. So it's just this stock quantity here. You just have to manage stock on a variation level. Uh
So
huh.
if you have 100 t-shirts and someone buys a 5-pack, a 10-pack, and a 20-pack, so I think it is about sharing that 100 amongst
Okay.
the so you're using variations as quantities basically. So a variant might be 5-pack of t-shirts, a variant might be a 10-pack of t-shirts, and so on. You can't do that in WooCommerce. I don't know off the top of my head any plugins that do it, but I'm just wondering about using our discount manager plugin as an alternative to those variations, because WooCommerce Discount Manager, which we released a few months ago, allows you to create kind of deals where if say the customer buys 5 t-shirts, any 5 t-shirts from the t-shirt category or 5 of a specific t-shirt, you can do either, then it will charge them a fixed price. So perhaps that would be a better way to do it than using variants, because you can just have your t-shirt product with the 100 stock. It's a simple product, not a variable product. So if someone buys buys 5, then they will get the 5 price, like $100 or whatever. And if they buy 10, they might be charged $175. And do you see what I mean, Sam?
Yeah, I'm just not sure if that's Donna's question, if it's about stock management or about pricing management, because you could also use WooCommerce bulk variations for customers to buy in lots of, 5 or 10 at a time, and then you could just package it together and ship it off to them.
Yeah, but
Unless
you still got the problem
necessary.
with the stock then, haven't you? That they're trying to share it.
Y-
So with
Yeah.
the discount manager, I think it's a way of bypassing the problem, really, because you've just got one t-shirt product which
Mhm.
you have 100 in stock of, and then you create the different prices for 5-pack, 10-pack, 20-pack using discount manager. So that's why I
Mhm.
was thinking that.
Yeah. I'm just still thinking about the stock management side of things for that. Yeah. I didn't come here to do math, Katie.
You demoed a price formula last month.
Ah, yes. That was fun.
Okay, so we've got, oh, hang on, Donna is back. That is a great workaround. See, I told you. Will that
Ah.
discount plugin control the inventory? No, it doesn't need to, because you're not using variations anymore. Well, you might be for size or something, I don't know, but generally you're just setting the inventory once. You're not using variations for the 5-pack or the 10-pack. Does that make sense? You're just creating a deal. If you buy 5, then you pay $100, even if the price per t-shirt is $20. Hopefully that makes sense.
I was just wondering if you could use, for example, Ajax to update the cart total if they click on a bundle. Yeah.
What kind of bundle?
Yeah, like if they clicked on 10 t-shirt pack and then it would update to 10 in the
Well, wouldn't, if they're using Discount Manager, they'd have to add 10 and then it would charge them the price for 10.
Yeah. So you could
So
use
it's a different strategy.
you could use our quantity manager plugin to move the stock in sets of 5 or something.
I like it, yes, because that has quantity increments, so you could prevent them from ordering 1 or 3 t-shirts or something like that. That's a good idea, yeah, and that works with Discount Manager, of course. Yeah,
Okay.
well, Will thinks it's a good solution and that it should fix the stock issue in the way that packs can't. But yeah, I like the idea of using it with Quantity Manager to force them to buy in increments of 5. And then you use Discount Manager to control the price.
Hi, Sam. I'm Sam. I did not write this comment. Somebody else did. So, is there any significance behind the locations listed on the Barn2 "Where should I work from" jumper? So we have a line of Barn2 merchandise, which is available actually for sale. Anyone can buy it, but it's mainly just for our team and to enjoy. But yes, there are locations taken from where actual team members live or work from, and that is actually where those locations are based on. So our designer took a survey of the whole team and tried to get an idea of where everyone's coming from or where they're living or working from at the time when he asked, and then he integrated those into the design itself. Is there a
So
picture of the
is
back?
that what this DOS is? Is it this one?
I'm not
I
sure
think
about
it's
this
this
one, but
one.
I'm sure there was one with an actual map.
Are you thinking about our new About page, which isn't released yet?
No, no. Okay,
I
I'll just
think you
have a look
are,
at
because that's that's going to be quite good.
maybe I am.
Do you think we need to ask Daniel, don't we? He may well have, knowing Daniel, he may well have strategically chosen our locations because we are dotted all over. But then if it was real, there would be more dots than that because we're in many
Yeah.
different countries.
Okay, yeah. So we're mixing up two things then.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
But we are about to relaunch our About page, which will have a map on it where we've coloured in all the countries, which is quite fun. And we just hired someone from a different country yesterday, and we're already thinking, oh, we need to get him to update the map before it goes live. But I think that map is more a stylized map, I reckon. But we could ask Daniel, our designer, to confirm. So I think, well, there's another question, isn't there? Any tips on how you manage product roadmaps for multiple products? Do you use Trello? We did use Trello until about 5 months ago, and we've switched to ClickUp now, which is a kind of more advanced project management tool. We used to have a Trello board for each developer, not even each product, really. It was just a way to manage each developer's work. And each of our plugins tends to have one lead developer, even though others might help them out with it sometimes. So now we've got ClickUp. We have a kind of a space, which is basically a folder for each plugin, and then all the projects are kind of nested under that. And it's quite good because you can have like the Kanban board style or a simple list, and it's quite sophisticated and with deadlines and all of that. So we now have everything in that and manage all of our projects through ClickUp. And there might be different categories, like there might be kind of ideas that we're just discussing that we might do at some point. And there's things that are actually in development, and ongoing tasks like maintenance would be somewhere else as well.
I was just going to say, on the product development side, it was really useful for our development team to have, I guess they kind of upgraded the types of meetings they were having and had them more regularly as well. So they are really on the same page when it comes to how they test, how they update plugins, and all those sorts of things.
Yeah. And from the 1st of July, we'll have our very first dedicated tester who will be spending his whole time testing different things and ensuring consistency and all of that. So we've got a question from Kimberly. In the product manager, which I think is product options, I've had an issue where I couldn't charge a customer more for engraving 8 names. Is there a conditional logic formula that can add prices per engraved name. I should have looked this up before putting it on the screen. We're doing a lot of very complex additions to the price formula field with many more logical and mathematical variable, I think, operators. You see, it's not me doing the coding, where you will be able to do much more complex price formulas with ands and ors and ifs and things like that. So as a minimum, then that would be a way to do it. There's some other features that I can't remember if there'll be simpler ways to do it, but as a minimum in WooCommerce Product Options 2.0, when that comes out, you'll be able to use price formulas to do that kind of thing. You need to be kind of good at maths because it could be quite a complex formula, but our support can help you with that. If you say exactly what you want to achieve, then they can help with any kind of errors or missing brackets or anything in your formula.
And just to clarify, all that would mean is that you can ask the customer using conditional logic. So they tick the box, I want engravings. And then the next question is, how many names do you want engraved? And that would be a number field. They could put in the number 8, and your formula would spit out the price based on that number. And then you could have another text field for them to enter all the names that they want to include. So there's kind of a 3-step solution there. The fallback option without the formula would be to just have like radio buttons, for example, 1 name, 2 names, 3 names. But it's kind of hard because then if they want even more and you don't have that option, it still wouldn't work for you.
Yeah, I like that. That might be, you could even take that a step further and not use a price formula at all. So you've got your text input field, and you can add as many of those as you like, as you say, and use conditional logic to display them. You can charge a flat fee. Yeah, you don't need formulas at all. So I'm going to share my screen again and give a suggestion of how you could do that now, which hopefully will work. So I'm going to add a engraving in product options, and I want a text input field, engraving 1, say. And here we've got all the price options, which I'm sure Kimberly knows already, like flat fee and so on. So you could charge $5 or something for the first one. And then you want to add another one. So that's engraving 2, another text input field. We'll probably add repeater fields, so this can happen automatically at some point, but not many people are asking for it. So it's not on the roadmap right now, but I can imagine that we will actually make this easier in future. But for now, what you need to do, I'll just save it, is use conditional logic to hide and show options. So engraving 2 field, I only want this to appear if engraving 1 is filled in. So I'm going to go to the advanced settings and use conditional logic to only show engraving 2 if engraving 1 is not empty. And then I'm going to add another option called engraving 3. And I'm not going to do this 8 times. This is just an example. So I can keep on going like that. And for each one, I'm going to add a flat fee. It sounds like Kimberly's done 8, but she could add 50 of these. It doesn't take long once you've got the hang of it. It is a bit of a hassle to have to do that 8 times. It would be better for the customer to be able to click a plus and automatically add as many as they like, which we'll probably do, like I say, at some point. But Kimberly could do that as many times as she wants. And as soon as they fill in one engraving field, it shows another. Mm-hmm. And hopefully she's happy because it says sounds amazing and thank you. So that's a simpler way to do it without price formulas. And Gabrielle says, I am wondering how you edit and customize the design of the product tabs on a product page with your WooCommerce product tabs plugin. So let's introduce product tabs quickly first. Here we go. So WooCommerce product tabs is one of our other plugins, and it lets you add additional tabs to the single product page. So if I scroll down to the tabs section here, then you can see there's quite a lot of tabs. Normally in WooCommerce, you would only have the description, maybe reviews, maybe additional information, which is added automatically. Whereas we've used Document Library Pro here, hopefully you recognize it by now, to add a list of documents. You can embed YouTube videos and things in. You can put literally any type of content within the extra tabs. So the question is how to customize the design of that. Well, that is actually done outside of our plugin, because if we look at this description tab, this is part of WooCommerce itself. And apart from the icon, which our plugin has added as an optional feature. And so WooCommerce itself has these tabs, and the styling for those comes from the theme that you're using, which will have styling for the WooCommerce product page, including the tabs. So there isn't really anything for our plugin to style, because it literally looks the same as the built-in tabs. So that means that you need to use custom CSS to customize all of the tabs in your theme, which by implication will include the tabs in our plugin and the ones that WooCommerce itself provides. And I think that is all the questions. Have you spotted any more we should cover?
No, not particularly. I believe we got through it, so that's amazing.
Okay.
I really appreciate everyone popping in today, saying hello if you're still here, and we do look forward to seeing people at WordCamp Europe if they're going there. And otherwise, Katie, what else do we have coming up?
So the next live stream will be on Wednesday, I've written both, the 27th of June, whichever that is, at the same time as this one, basically. So put that in your diary now, and you can actually register already and submit your questions for next time on barn2.com/events. And I should be showing the banner for that, which I'm not. So the next live stream is on the 27th of June. So thank you so much, everybody. There's been lots of great questions. People are saying thank you. So glad it's been useful to you.
Check back in about 20 minutes or so when I've updated the video description on YouTube, and you'll see all the links there.
Brilliant. Well, thanks, everybody, and see you next month. Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.